See? Oh, this one, this one, this one. Ah, but I don't want to admit anyone. I want to, yeah, but I want to, people, they have to, how do you call, like, I don't need to enable them. I want to, just to enable them to, okay. I need to admit all. I cannot, yeah, it's always, I think, like that. Yeah, but I need to write 5, 6 people. Now it's time. 29. So I need all? No, you speak. Okay, now I start. But I don't want to admit. I want just to. Yes, now. Hello? I hope you can see me and you can. Yes. You can hear me? Hi.
I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Please unmute all of you. Now you can see the screen?
Yes.
Hi, Elena. Okay, thank you. Let's start. Oh, sorry. Yeah, now. Okay, today I would like to talk about how our gut microbiota, okay, can, or how stress can impact on our gut microbiota, and how by modulation of our gut microbiota can lead to inflammatory disease. My name is, oops, sorry, 1 second, yes. My name is Sandra, I'm physiotherapist. I'm having a master in clinical sport nutrition. I like to talk about our digestive disorders. And in this case, how specifically stress can impact on them. I would like to talk about the concept of our gut microbiota, the roles of our gut microbiota, which factors can alter our gut microbiota, which consequences we can have if we have unhealthy gut microbiota, and how to maintain a healthy gut microbiota. So, but first of all, I would like to define, 1 second. Yes. Before I start to talk about the gut microbiota, I would like to define, or I would like to ask you, I think from 20s or up to 20s, everyone is having a good digestive health. But from 25 or when we start our work and to have more responsibilities, who is able to have a good digestive health? No one, because our environment plays a very important role. So that's why it's difficult to define a good digestive health, because it's difficult to measure. This is first of all, because the more responsibilities we have, the more emotions we can have, the more modulation our stomach we can have. So it's very important to understand this. Our environment plays a very important role on our digestion. Then we define, because I have to admit all people, we define, 1 second, yes, our good digestive health as a state of complete well-being. Means when we are going to toilet and we are going properly, this kind of feel like, wow, now I'm feeling empty. I can't start my day. However, when we start to feel, or when we are not able to go to toilet properly, then our day cannot start properly. This is stress plays a very important role on this. Also, we define a good digestive health as an absence of any digestive disorder. Nowadays, it's very difficult to find people who is not having bloated, constipation, diarrhea, bowel movement. It's very difficult, apart for children. And also, when we talk about good digestive health, we need to talk about our gut as our immune system modulator organ, okay? So our gut plays a very important role, and stress impacts directly on our gut. I hope this is clear. Then how we define gut microbiota and gut microbiome. Why it's very important to know about the bacteria living in our gut, and why it's important to know that, or the function these bacteria they are having for our health. First of all, we need to define that the microbiome is all the collective genomes of the microorganisms in a particular environment, in this case, in our organism. And we have more microbial genes than human genes. So imagine the importance of these microorganisms. They have more genes than us, affecting to our health. This is the microbiome. Then the microbiota, it's all the community of microorganisms themselves living in our body, not the bacteria, fungus, archaea, virus, that shape all our microbiota. And it's considered one of our biggest organs in our body. The biggest organ, all these microorganisms. Okay, that's why it's very important. Where we can find them? Where we can find them? People, they are thinking the bacteria and all the microorganisms, they are living in our gut, but no, they are distributed on all our entire body. And depending which area they are play a specific function. But the most percentage of these microorganisms, they are living in our gut, here, specifically in our colon, with this kind of phylum, Bacteroidetes and Firmicutes. And to have a healthy digestive health, we need to have a balance between these two components of bacteria. Okay, otherwise, if they are unbalanced, then is when we start to have a disease. A part of our colon, they can be on our hair, oral cavity, respiratory tract, skin, vagina, stomach. We need to understand they are the first line of defense. We need also to understand they are very adaptive and dynamic. They are changing every second depending on our environment. For example, if today we are stuck in the traffic, they are changing all the time according to our mood, according to our environment, depending when we are. If today we are having a meeting with our boss and we are very tense, they are also adapted to this environment. So that's why stress modulates them depending how we control that stress. We are having about 100 billions of bacteria and about 500 to 1,000 different species exchanging information with our immune cells. So this is very important to understand, okay? They are exchanging information with our cells. So if they are not healthy, the information to our cells, to our immune cells, will not be in a proper way. And we have to understand our microbiota is unique and different for each one of us. Even a family living at the same house, they are having different kinds of microorganisms. Also, we need to understand, okay, now we understand we are having a different bacteria living in our gut. But we need to understand we are having good bacteria, bad bacteria, and neutral bacteria. And all they are working a balance. That, for example, if we are having a chronic stress for a long period, the good bacteria, they are decreasing, the bad bacteria, they are increasing, and the neutral bacteria, they are helping the bad bacteria. So we are creating an unhealthy gut environment. So it's very important to understand this. Good bacteria, bad bacteria, and neutral bacteria. And all of them, they have to work in balance. Then you are asking, okay, which is the roles and why it's important on intestinal microbiota? Because listen, they are promoting our digestion. This is the intestinal microbiota, the microorganisms. Here we have our intestinal cells, okay? And here are the toxins. And here when we eat, this is our nutrients. So they are helping our intestinal health to absorb our nutrients. And they are very important to absorb sugars, vitamins, and also to promote the production, for example, for vitamin K. That's why the newborn, they need the injections, because as they don't have the bacteria, I mean the development of bacteria, they cannot produce this vitamin K. And also vitamin 12, for example, and vitamin B8. And people who are having constipation, they are having a lot of deficit because they are not able to produce this kind of bacteria and not absorbing the nutrients. So we need to restore a healthy microbiota to absorb again the nutrients. Also, they play a very important role about the barrier role. They protect us against toxins, against pathogens, against germs. As well, they play a very defensive role. Development of the intestinal immune system, as I mentioned before, they participate into the maturation of our immune system response. So if you are not having a good bacteria or a healthy bacteria, our immune system will not work properly. So metabolic role, body role, defensive role, and maintenance role. And also we know for the metabolic role how the decrease of healthy bacteria tend to increase insulin resistance, diabetes type 2, and obesity, because they participate in our hunger satiety axis. So that's why the people who are not having a good microbiota, they are having more cravings, more emotional hungry. I hope you understand this. I mentioned about the lymphoid tissue associated with the gut. So I mentioned about the importance of our immune system for our gut microbiota. And in this image, in this picture, we understand better. This is our intestinal microbiota. The bacteria live in our gut. Bacteria, virus, archaea, fungus, all of them, they are together. Here we have the intestinal mucosa. This is very important for our immune system. And they are responsible for our intestinal cells here. They produce this mucus. And the bacteria living in our gut, they are responsible to participate in the production of the mucus. And the mucus, by our intestinal cells here, they produce proteins, antimicrobial proteins like edapensins, C-type lecithin, also helping or to enhance our intestinal microbiota to protect us against any pathogens trying to come into our bloodstream and to cause our immune response. So this is our bacteria, once again, antimicrobial producing biointestinal cells, the mucus, and our immune system under our gut. So you will understand, this is what is happening in a normal condition. One second. In a normal condition, our host immune system prevents the invasion of any pathogenic bacteria, okay? Because here we have intact our mucus, intact our gut microbiota, and then nothing can come into our bloodstream. However, when we are under stress, physical inactivity, drugs, antibiotics, we decrease our healthy bacteria, then we start to have more harmful bacteria in the gut, more than the healthy one, creating a dysbiosis, okay, and then all the toxins can come into our blood circulation and activate our immune response. Then we can create a lot of gut inflammation, food intolerances, our immune system issues, and autoimmunity disease. But this is what we call leaky gut, because as we don't have the first defense line, everything can come inside our circulation. But which kind of factors can affect or can increase our leaky gut progression? Fast food, response to chronic stress, drugs, pollution, antibiotics, and physical inactivity. That's why nowadays people are having a lot of food intolerance tests, more than before. And this is the impact of our gut leading to inflammation and inflammatory diseases. For example, a lot of gastrointestinal issues, IBS, constipation, food intolerance, bloated, SIBO, a lot of respiratory disease, autoimmune diseases, Hashimoto, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis, lupus, metabolic diseases, obesity, insulin resistant, diabetes type 2. This is because they are promoting digestion. If they are not healthy, our hunger society axis is altered. And also they are responsible to produce as well in our gut, like hormones to reduce our appetite. If they are not healthy, the hormones to reduce our appetite released in our gut will not be released. So we tend to eat by emotional hungry. Also as well can increase fibromyalgia, chronic muscle pain, fatigue, headache, and also as there is, and I think I have here, there is, you will understand with this, there is a connection between our brain and our gut. We call gut-brain axis by the largest nerve in our body. We call vagus nerve. He is responsible to send information from our brain to our gut, from our gut to our brain. Then, by that directional information, it's how we know stress is affecting to our gut. So, imagine you are seeing a lion. Then our body is ready to see a lion for short period. Then our brain thinks, okay, if I'm seeing a lion, it's time to go to toilet? No, it's time to paralyze our gastro or bowel movement, paralyze our digestion, and start to put in action our muscle system, our blood and everything to run away from the lion. What is happening nowadays? It's like we are seeing a lion 24 hours. So our sympathetic nervous system, it's over and over response. This is we don't call chronic stress. We call response to chronic stress. And this is how can affect to our gut. That's why a lot of people are having a lot of gastrointestinal issues, a lot of changes mood, fatigue. Why? Because in our gut is producing our 95% of our serotonin. And why stress affecting? Because there is an activation of neuroendocrine system releasing a lot of cortisol, aggravating the symptoms of IBS. There is a visceral stimulation and visceral hypersensitivity. There is alteration in our gastrointestinal motility, our bowel movement. The bacteria live in our gut. They are responsible to increase our bowel movement. But if we are seeing a lion 24 hours, our bowel movement will be reduced. It's not able to promote our digestion. So we need to calm down. We need to understand what is the origin of our stress. If we are, for example, busy in the morning time when we wake up, because our nervous system starts to activate by 6 o'clock in the morning, start to avoid bowel movement. But if we are thinking about emails, phones, callings, children, husband, but we don't have time for that. We have seen the lion, and no, then will be everything altered. Also decrease digestive enzymes, decrease once again our healthy gut microbiota. There is activation of our inflammatory cytokines by the stress signal. There is a decrease of our antimicrobial in our mucosa, intestinal mucosa, as I explained before. All of this induce a low-grade inflammation. So our immune system, it's all the time working and working and working and working and working, and then all the chronic diseases we are having are suffering nowadays. That's why people who is suffering a bowel movement or gastrointestinal disorder, they try all types of diet and it's not helping because this signal is disrupted. They are still lying 24 hours, and if you try a lot of diets, but now I'm gonna tell you which kind of diet is specific for this, but it will not help if you don't reduce your stress. Another picture. This is our stress. This is bacteria, decreasing the healthy bacteria, okay? Then the first line of defense is destroyed. We tend to have dysbiosis. This is induced chronic inflammation, and this is induced, for example, colitis or a lot of gastro or digestive disorders. However, this is a normal one. Intact, our intestinal mucosa intact, our intestinal cells, they are healthy, then our immune system, it's working properly. And here, once again, the stress, disease, gut function. For example, if we are people who are abusing about Panadol, ibuprofen, all this chronic medication as well tend to destroy the junctions of the intestinal cells. However, when our nervous system is working properly, we are under healthy status, then our immune system is working properly and our bacteria, they are working properly. What we need to do for that? First of all, we need to resolve the inflammation. Means we need to work on our stress, we need to work on our lifestyle, and we need to decrease the inflammation of our gut. First of all, this. Second, we need to revitalize our intestinal mucosa. And third, we need to normalize our gut microbiota. We need to normalize our gut bacteria living in our gut, living in all our intestine. How to do that? Stress management. You need to find where is the origin of your stress. If it's your boss, if it's the traffic, if it's the WhatsApp, if it's the emails, you need to find that. For that, I recommend you to go for a psychologist. Meditation, body-mind perception exercise, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, walking on sunset areas, green areas, cognitive behavioral therapy also, exercise, range of motion, because if our range of motion are limited, then our visceral function also can be limited, and this is affect to our gut as well. Habit of food, probiotics, quality of sleep. We need, from nutrition perspective, we need to individualize everyone, first of all. We need to do a differential diagnosis by a doctor because we don't know if there is any pathogen or any parasite who is affecting the digestive disorder. We don't know. We need to work with a doctor for the specific diagnosis. Then we need to follow a plan by a nutritionist, okay, and along with a specialist doctor. But we need to make sure that we are following a specific diagnosis and diet, because we can have adverse effects for health if we extend this kind of diet in time, because this kind of diet is only for short period of time. And also for people who are having a severe constipation and more than 3-4 days without going to toilet, colon hydrotherapy is also a very good alternative. Which kind of diet we can have? Nowadays, the only diet can help for this kind of gastrointestinal disorder to reduce the gut inflammation is low FODMAP diet. Means we need to decrease the fermentable food. We need to eliminate, for example, high rich of fiber, and there are some specific vegetables and fruit they cannot digest properly, and we need to eliminate directly this kind of food to reduce the activity, the bacteria that are living in our gut, to start to produce less gases and less fermentation of the food. Also, we can help with some supplements, but this has to be according to individual needs. Intermittent fasting can help for some people. Keto diet also, because it's very low in fiber, but we need to be careful with this, and also to individualize once again, because it can provide more constipation. This kind of diet, okay, only we need to follow for 4 or 8 weeks according to the individual symptoms. And we need to figure out which kind of diet is suitable for people, because not for all people, not for all people are suitable or type of food. Also, we need to pay attention with probiotics, because everyone is prescribing probiotics, but we know probiotics has to be as well according to individual needs, because we need to know which kind of species are in the probiotics. And sometimes in the first phase for the food elimination, probiotics can get worse the symptoms. So maybe it's not suitable to introduce probiotics in the first phase. We need to find out which kind of probiotics are specific for the symptoms of the individual needs. And when, after complete this phase, after 4 to 8 weeks, when we reduce our gut inflammation. If we talk about food for healthy people, or to improve our gut microbiota, then definitely we need to go for prebiotics. Is non-digestive food. I mean, food rich in fiber, okay, or resistant starch, like vegetables, fruit, onion, garlic, legumes, banana. But be careful, because nowadays there are a lot of fashion with this detox diet, or with a lot of vegan diet, vegetarian. Not all guts are suitable to eat all type of vegetables and fruit. This can give you more bloated and more constipation if you have some gut sensitivity. So instead of increasing the healthy bacteria, you are increasing the bad bacteria for your gut. Also, resistant starches are have been shown to enrich a specific bacteria group. For example, potatoes or sweet potatoes. We know when we cook them, and after we put them in a normal temperature and we cook them, they change the chemical structure and they provide for us healthy bacteria in our gut. That's why when we are having some diarrhea or something, people tell you, eat some rice or some potato. What? Because of this reason. And I recommend to eat more than 5 grams a day of probiotics or whole grain fruits and vegetables, because can increase the fermentation on your gut. Oh, I have only very quickly. Probiotics, the same, has to be individualized for each one, okay, according to your needs. Fermented food, it's also a very good option. Not all fermented food contains live organisms. You need to understand this. And about the fermentation, we don't know the species. Yes, we know they have a healthy bacteria and they can provide you health in your gut. But no, the same, not all the fermented food are proper for everyone. And don't forget a well-nourished microbiota produces anti-inflammatory substances, serotonin, vitamins, increase your immune system, and increase your bowel movement. And this is what's happened. We are using a Western diet, like a fast food and this kind of rubbish food. They are decreasing our protection in our gut, leading to inflammatory disorders. So this is the conclusion. The human microbiota is a big organ. The modern lifestyle, like exercise, chronic stress, lack of quality of sleep, it's been a risk for our well-being. We can establish probiotics are beneficial for digestive health according to your individual needs. Nutrition is a very effective tool to reverse this situation, and we need to increase our physical activity, more vegetable, fruits, and fermented food, sun exposition, rest, and please calm down. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope this talk will be useful for you. Any question? I don't know if you can hear me. You can, I think I need to unmute you.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for your talk. The thing that I enjoyed the most was the understanding about the microbiome versus the microbiota. I think nowadays there is certainly a lot more information that separates our concept of how to deal with that. Tell me, what is your understanding of probiotics versus prebiotics?
The prebiotics, the food which feed our bacteria, okay? Vegetable and fruit which contain fiber needed to feed our bacteria. Probiotic is already the bacteria itself. It's live organisms that can provide us a health for or a benefit for our health. But we need to choose a specific probiotic in case we need to use for individual needs, not for everyone according to the needs. So that's why for those who are having some issues and they want to choose a probiotics, they need to contact a professional. Because for some people who are having a digestion disorder or even some autoimmune diseases, the probiotics, instead of providing a help, can get worse the symptoms. Specifically, they contain inulin. So, and the good probiotics shouldn't have more than 3 to 4 species.
Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, I just want to say thank you for the talk. It was very nice.
Yes, please.
This is Elena.
Thank you, Elena. The only thing we need to know is a lot of people, they are selling many things, but we can reverse the situation and how people, when they are try a lot of diets, we need to specific which kind of type of food is specific for the gut, and second, how stress can reduce our bowel movements. So if we are under stress, there is no way to increase our bowel movement, because it's like we are seeing a lion all the time. And if we are seeing a lion, our digestion gets paralyzed. It's impossible. And also how stress can increase our gases. Our gases, because the bacteria, they ferment. The bad bacteria, they are producing toxins. Instead of produce vitamins or energy for us, they produce toxins. And the other example is how people who are having a severe constipation, even if they take vitamin D, they cannot absorb. That's why people taking supplements of vitamin D, they are not absorbing, because they are not having a good environment in their health. We need to know that. And also why people, they are having fatigue, depression, anxiety, because 90% of our serotonin, the happiness hormone, is produced in our gut. So if we are not creating a healthy microbiota, we cannot produce this serotonin. Then we tend to be all the time depressed, fatigue, no motivation. This is the difference. We need to solve from our gut. And for that, we need to go for a specific diet. Not all diet can help. No, the food intolerance tests can help. It's only by food elimination. Okay, any question? And anyone else?
Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
I just want to ask, what is the role of physical activity to improve the motility of the colon and the gut?
Because the exercise produces a mechanical impact. So if we are not moving, how we are moving our organs? The exercise, a part of, because genetically we are made to do exercise, and the bacteria, they like exercise. The more exercise we do, the more healthy bacteria genetically. But a part of that, the exercise increase the mechanical bowel movement. If we are sitting 10 hours, how we can increase the bowel movement if we are not moving our gut? That's why for people who are having gut sensitivity, running is not suitable at the beginning. However, they can tolerate better cycling because we have less impact. And that's why it's important what to eat before the exercise and what to eat after the exercise, because can affect to our gut bowel movement. But we can train as well our gut to tolerate better the food before the exercise. But this will be another topic. I hope, Asha, I can solve your question.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandra. It's a new information that the bacteria loves exercise. Thank you.
The more exercise, the more healthy bacteria, the more mechanical impact. So everyone wants to move, but also as well the range of motion, because the nerves comes out from our spine, they go specific to the organs. So if we are not moving, how we can send them the specific signal from our nervous system? We need to pay attention. And also the nerve, the vagus nerve is the largest nerve from our brain to our gastrointestinal tract. And it's how we receive information from our gut to our brain from our gut. And this nerve, the vagus nerve, it's anti-inflammatory. So we need to think less and think more positive. We don't need all the time to our mind running. So, okay, I have only just 50 seconds. Anyone else? No? Okay. Thank you so much for attending. I hope this information can be useful for you, and it will be recorded anyway. Okay? Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.